photos do not.
This video's for the girl that said I should stop using my wash out and then I just like...
This is toxic. This is toxic.
This Black Friday and I have to tell you about it. This is my journey so far.
Our school for arts in Maryland, Jada and Tupac would quickly become close friends.
Something is going wrong. You just put on and you feel like you have your entire life.
If you can relate to that daily routine, then you especially need this video because, geez. You need to get off your damn phone. As always, here are the video chapters. We're going to discuss all things that you can do on a daily basis and even with your mindset to stay away from social media, be more productive and live a more fulfilling life, okay? Because scrolling on your phone for 7 hours a day is not that. Before we start, I have a very exciting announcement. I just launched my brand new podcast with all new exclusive episodes full of self-help content. It's called Self-Obsessed and it's linked below in the description along with all of my other socials and my second YouTube channel. This video has also been brought to you by Shopify, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. For now, let's get into the advice. Chapter number 1, daily shifts. These are quick and easy things that you can start literally right now to help you stay off your phone. Step number 1, let's start with your night routine. Make the decision that when you're winding down after a long day, you can scroll, you can respond to those text messages, leave your phone on charge in another room and go to sleep. Your bedroom should just be about rest and relaxation. And listen, I know it's hard, but this is why you have to force yourself to make this a habit. Because when you are staring into that bright light in your phone, right here, every single night before you go to bed, it is negatively impacting your circadian rhythm. So a simple shift we can make is we leave our phone in the other room, we get into bed and read a book. Reading a book before bed will help you destimulate your brain. It will help you actually fall into a deeper sleep. There are literally studies that found that people who read a book before bed compared to those who didn't had better sleep quality. And if you're not a big reader, why don't you step up your manifestation game? I do this almost every single night. I visualize before bed. I have my head hit that pillow and I close my eyes, and while I'm waiting for myself to fall asleep, I am playing out my dream life like a movie in my head. Therefore, I'm doing myself a massive favor because now I'm speeding up my manifestations and I'm about to have an amazing night of Z's. On top of this, because your phone was left in a different room the night before, in the morning, you now have to get up out of bed to go and get your phone. Meaning, you're not gonna be doom scrolling in the morning, laying in bed, rotting away and wasting your day. Step number 2. I don't think you need to delete all of the social media apps and all of the apps on your phone. I actually think social media is an amazing tool. Personally, it's helped me learn so much. It's helped me get the career I want. It helps me be more creative, but this is only when you use it correctly and efficiently. And this starts with an unfollow binge. I want you to unsubscribe. I want you to mute. I want you to unfollow. I want you to block even. Because when you are mindlessly following strangers on the internet, you are exposing yourself to worsened mental health because now you are comparing yourself to their life. It always seems like everybody has it better than you on social media. That is how the platform has been built. Once you've removed all of the people, you now need to mold the algorithm to work in your favor. I spent like 2 hours once doing this on TikTok and it's still the same. I would just go through my For You page, just spend ages just scrolling through, and I want you to click the not interested button on anything that would usually send you into doom scrolling, comparison, content that is encouraging you to buy things you don't even need, useless memes. Honestly, it's almost 2024. Why are we still sending memes to people? It's literally such a waste of time. Click not interested on all of that content and then go to the TikTok search tab, and I want you to search in the stuff that you want to start coming onto your For You page. For me, it was self-help, it was motivational quotes, it was inspiring business stories. So I would type in these phrases and I would start interacting with all of those videos. I would favorite them and boom. For the last 2 years, that is all I get when I open TikTok. I just learn things. Daily shift number 3, work blockers and timers. Let's start with work blocking. Now, I always plan my days in advance and I have every single hour accounted for. So like 12 till 1 is my lunch break, 1 till 3, I'm gonna work on this task, 3 till 6, I'm gonna work on this task, then it's dinner, then I might have social plans. And this has worked wonders for me because now not only do you have certainty about what you have to get done in the day, and you're like, oh shoot, I have this deadline, I need to sit down and focus on all of this work, but it creates that type of like all-nighter motivation. I used to leave all of my essays essays till the last minute, and I always did well on them, because when you have those time constraints, you just go for it. You're not about the distractions. And this is so good for your productivity as well, because it creates less friction, because now it's less about how you feel and when you want to do it, and more about, I have to do this right now. Another way you can do this is by using timers. I talked about this in my productivity video, the Pomodoro timer. You go online, it times you 20 minutes straight work, then you can have a 5-minute break. If you want to scroll, then you can scroll, and then after those 5 minutes, you got to get back to work. Otherwise, I actually use an hourglass timer. That's really good because you can see the sand pouring down, and it makes you realize how much time is going by. And I know going from procrastinating and spending loads of time on social media to completely cutting it out, they are very big steps, and that is overwhelming. That's completely understandable, and this is why we take baby steps. You do not have to implement everything in this video straight away. You need to build it up slowly. So one baby step you can take tomorrow is, when I wake up, for the first 30 minutes, I'm not allowed to go on my phone. After 30 minutes, I can scroll, that's fine, and act as I normally would. And you're gonna build that up, that time in the morning where, okay, maybe by lunchtime, I haven't gone on my phone. It's not so much about punishing yourself, just have a designated time in your day where you can happily scroll. Shift number 4, no more notifications. You do not need anything encouraging you. The fact that you still have your notifications on blows my mind. I did this a long time ago. I went into my settings. I have the notifications off for every single one of my social media apps. I also have my phone on do not disturb majority of the time, because unless I know I have the free time to go on my phone, I don't need to be in the middle of a work task and then my phone buzzes and I'm like, okay, let me go and check, because we all know how it goes. You go and you're like, I'll just quickly respond to this text, and then you're like, let me just go, see what's going on Instagram, and maybe my TikTok notifications as well, see if anyone liked my video, and all of a sudden you've been watching YouTube for 4 hours. Turning your notifications off is about making your phone more undesirable and untouchable. And another way you can do this is, if you're studying, for example, have your phone in the room and have it film you on a time lapse. You are going to be so excited to see the time lapse at the end of how focused you were on your work. You're not going to be able to actually physically go on your phone and scroll on it. Step number 5, let's talk more about friction. The reason we have trouble sticking to these disciplines and habits is simply because they're too icky. That's why we procrastinate on what we're supposed to do, and instead we run to our phones and we scroll so that we can ease our minds. I believe that if we make this discipline more attractive, we're more likely to do it. If your goal is to stay off social media or stay off your phone, then you have to give yourself an incentive to actually stick to it. Otherwise, you're going to be back at square one every single day. So the solution to this is make it easy and reward yourself. What is something you enjoy? What is something that gives you happiness besides your phone that you can give to yourself at the end of every day? Maybe it's a nice home cooked meal. Maybe it's dessert. Maybe it's seeing your friends. Maybe it's FaceTiming someone. Maybe it's reading a book. And you are only allowed to do that task if you successfully stick to your goal of staying off your phone for a certain number of hours. And if you don't, you have to work for longer. And lastly, quick shift number 6, get addicted to real dopamine. Spending time on your phone is a nice little break, and you think it's giving you dopamine when really it's just sending you into a downward spiral. It has more negative effects on you than it does positive. So you need to get addicted to real dopamine. Sources of real dopamine include being in the sun, being in nature, moving your body and exercising, music, dancing, self-care, spending time with your loved ones. When have you ever gotten off of a 2-hour period of scrolling on your phone and thought, I feel great now. I'm gonna go about my day, I'm gonna be so productive, I feel amazing. You don't. You never do. In fact, you probably have more negative thoughts about, oh, I just saw loads of videos of these people, living a certain way, looking a certain way, and now why am I not doing that? Chapter 2, lifestyle. This is about crafting a life that you love, that is filled with hobbies and real fulfillment, so that you forget to even pick up your phone. Step 1. Ultimately, it all comes down to discipline. And the way you achieve a disciplined mindset and lifestyle is that you need to voluntarily love to do hard things. You might think,
oh, but my life is already so boring and tiring and difficult and meh.
No, you need to start finding the thrill in the discomfort. Because when you can take a cold shower, wake up at 6 a.m, work out first thing in the morning, go to that big event, push yourself outside of your comfort zone and talk to those new people, you can do anything. Because the thing is, you're not addicted to your phone, you're addicted to the comfort. The more pain that you get used to enduring, the more strength you're gonna have, the more discipline you're gonna have. The more ease and comfort you chase, the weaker you become. And the easier it is to fall addicted to a device. Discipline is immersing yourself in what you hate and acting like you love it. And when you master that habit, everything is in your control again. So shift your focus from your phone, take a step back and evaluate your entire lifestyle and how you live, how you approach every single task you need to do every single day. Are you rotting away in bed every single morning because it's just too hard to get up? Do you just go to the gym when you feel like it rather than sticking to a routine? Do you tell yourself you're gonna eat healthy this month and instead when you're approached with comfort food, you just take it? All of these habits, all of this mindset and approach you have to life is reflected in your addiction to your phone. Once you start solving those things and you wake up every day and you start living intentionally and you're like, actually, I'm gonna focus on my long-term benefit rather than this short-term comfort, you're gonna apply that same principle to your relationship, to your phone and social media addiction. Lifestyle step number 2, your morning routine. Spend some time thinking about a moment of joy you can create first thing every single morning. The reason that I scroll easily for an hour or two first thing in the morning is because I'm dreading the day ahead. Because I'm thinking, if I get up now, that means I have to start with all of my responsibilities and my chores and my work day. So we are procrastinating getting started with our day and we're using our phone to allow us to do that. But we shouldn't be dreading facing our day immediately. We should be excited. The goal here is to wake up first thing in the morning and want to leap out of bed because you love what you're about to do. Now listen, you might be stuck in school, you might be stuck in a job you hate, but this is where that first moment of joy in the day comes into play, where you're going to have the motivation to get up out of bed. You don't want to scroll on your phone because you have this thing you're looking forward to. For me, when I was starting out, it would be a nice tall glass of iced matcha. The sun would be shining and I would drink my matcha under the sun. And I got those first 30 minutes, no one could say anything to me. I didn't have to do anything. I had no responsibilities, just 30 minutes of me time. And when I did it for the first time, I was like, this feels amazing. And obviously I didn't know it at the time, but the reason it made me feel so happy was because it was real dopamine. I was getting out into nature. I was under the sun. I was doing something for myself. I had that first hit of happiness as a result of that habit. Every single day after that, I was leaping out of bed because I couldn't wait to do it. And I knew the earlier I get up, the more time I have to spend doing that thing I love. It can be a walk. It can be a good pre-planned breakfast where you're like, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna make myself pancakes. I also find that with this morning routine, when you are super intentional about getting out of bed, shutting your phone off, put it in a drawer closed away somewhere, upstairs in another room that you're not gonna go into, you are gonna find so many things to fill the time in your morning or in your day. I found this absolutely crazy because a few years ago, I went 2 whole weeks where I didn't use my phone at all, and it made me realize how much time there is in the day. I had my other responsibilities and stuff, but all of a sudden I was baking. I had the time to do that. When you start living like that, you actually start to comprehend how much of your life you've been wasting away on your phone. And when you have that realization, your phone starts giving you the ick. And we all know how the ick goes down. Once you get it, you can't get rid of it. Lifestyle change number 3. Stop complaining your life is boring and get outside. And before you say it,
Oh, outside costs money.
no it doesn't, okay? And I'm sick of your excuses. Because how expensive really is a train ticket to your nearest city? How expensive is a walk outside? How expensive is it to become a tourist in your own city? Museums are literally free. Like, why have you not been to them yet? Go to the library. Read all of the books you can in a day, completely free. Play a game of badminton with your friends at your local leisure centre. Take up a painting class. Me and my boyfriend once, we went and we painted like literal French macaroons. We found the time to do that. We then took a painting class. I went to another city to visit my friends and we went to a literal pottery store and we painted mugs. This is what you could be doing with your time. And you actually live life and you have new experiences and you create new memories. You need to start getting addicted to the thought of living like that. Invest in yourself. Start going to Pilates classes. Buy yourself a bike and ride your bike every day at sunset. Oh my God, cute sunset bike ride? I think I need to buy myself a bike. And doing literally any of these things is gonna have you feeling like that girl, because now you're not monitoring what other people are living like. Now you're more aligned to your purpose and what you're supposed to live like and living in the moment and being present. Busy is a blessing. To not know what this and that celeb is doing is amazing. And this links into the last step for this chapter, which is have a mission which makes looking at your phone gross. There is a quote I have at the center of my vision board which changed my life for the better. And it goes, create a vision which makes you want to leap out of the bed every single morning. I love what I get to do every single day. Going on my phone is gross. All that's doing is taking me away from my purpose, from the happiness I can experience in my everyday, with the people I meet, with the places I go, with the work that I do, with the things that I am building. Because life isn't about the outcome, it's about the journey. It's about the purpose and the things you learn about yourself when you're building something. It's not about, oh, but I don't have the resources and I don't have the money yet. No, it's the journey of trying to get those things, which is so fulfilling. I have achieved majority of the things on my vision board. Why do you think I still keep setting up new things? Why do you think I just launched a podcast? I've made YouTube into my full-time career. That was my biggest goal, and I'm still doing more because it's the journey that gives you the happiness, the dopamine, and the fulfillment. I get so many questions from people all of the time saying, you know, how do you set up a business? How do you do this? Why are you not online right now researching how to do it? The process of starting a business or a side hustle online is now easier than it has ever been in the history of the world. Shopify literally have an article on their website called How to Start a Business in 11 Steps. If you don't know the 11 steps, you can't start complaining to me about why your life is boring, because why are you not doing something to change it? Shopify offers an easy to use, all-in-one entrepreneurship platform for literally anyone, even if you have zero experience with setting up a business. So yes, even you right there can start, manage, and grow a business today. Shopify lets you sell online, in person, and on all major social media platforms. You have complete flexibility in how you want to do it. Their priority is reducing all of the barriers to business that you may be experiencing right now and make it easier than ever for you to create that vision and live that vision that makes you want to leap out of bed first thing in the morning and not doom scroll on your phone. When I started my business at the beginning of this year, it completely changed my life. Shifted my daily routine from monitoring how other people were living their dream lives to finally just creating my own. And having that experience with building my first e-commerce online store did just that. Every single day I was thinking, how can I make it better? Because listen, you need to realize social media is just an escape from your real life. But when you take the time to create a life you love, you're gonna want to live that life always. If I was gonna give you guys some brutally honest advice right now, I wish that I'd started earlier. I set up my business when I was 22. I wish I started when I was 15. Because the thing is, people think that they can't when they're a teenager, when they're in school. Yes, you can. Because all of the information is online. All of the resources are built into this. If I did it when I was 15 and it all failed, it wouldn't even matter. Because the skill set I would have gained then would have been invaluable, and I would have been further along in my journey right now to becoming an entrepreneur. And you can do that by setting up your first Shopify store just in time for the new year to live your best life in 2024 by clicking the link in my description. You got this, I believe in you. Chapter 3, mindset. This is about reframing the perception and purpose you have of social media so you're no longer interested in it. Mindset shift number 1, social media is not real life and it never will be. And I can say this confidently as an influencer. People take a few little things they've seen on my stories or on my Instagram posts and they create an entire narrative around it. Stuff that I haven't even said before. And I get it because we all do it. This is what happens when you are continuously consuming on social media. We create the narrative ourselves to connect the dots and to connect the story that we're being shown through these pictures. And all this does is it warps your perception of reality and what life should look like, and all it does is then make you feel bad about what your life looks like. You know, you always think you have a terrible wardrobe or you're underdressed, and then you go out into real life to your local grocery store and it's like, oh, not everyone's a millionaire, not everyone's retired by 30, and that's what makes you feel like you're behind. So really, being on socials is just you self-sabotaging. You're so involved in what you think you should be doing and what you think your life should look like that you're holding yourself back from taking advantage of the opportunities and the potential that are in your present moment. You can't even see it because you're more concerned with how that person over there is living and not all the gifts that are given to you. Mindset shift number 2. Stop adopting how other people live. You've been exposed to one opinion from a complete stranger online, you've interacted with it, and now your entire algorithm and feed is filled with content saying that exact same opinion. And you were exposed to that opinion over and over and over again until you think that's what you're supposed to do, when really it's taking you so far away from how you should be living your life and what is really aligned to you. Mindset shift number 3. You need to realize that using social media too much is going to reprogram your brain to get addicted to external validation rather than inner confidence. Social media isn't even social, okay? We don't even talk to each other anymore. We don't even make friends from it anymore. We literally follow strangers who have no idea we exist, and we want to know everything about them and everything that's happening in their lives. Instead, we should be using social media to build a community, to make connections, to gain more positivity in our lives. Wanting new things all the time consistently pushes you away from happiness. And I saw someone say this on TikTok the other day and it blew my mind. And she said, if you go online and someone is telling you to buy something that you have literally never thought of before, why are you buying it? When I say stop wanting things, I don't mean growth and goals. I mean things like, actually, I don't need that new eyeshadow palette. Like I like the one that I repurchase every 2 years anyway. Actually, I don't need that nude lipstick that reality star is wearing because I've already got a drawer full of nude lipsticks. So the quickest way to reach happiness is to stop wanting things, to just be happy and grateful with what you already have. Otherwise, you are on this journey of life with another stop, another stop, another stop, until you feel beautiful, until you feel ready, and until you feel rich enough, pretty enough, like you have enough things. And the last, mindset shift. 24 hours should feel like 24 hours. Like I said before, if you challenge yourself to spend a week, even a day, no phone. Okay, give it to a friend, give it to a parent, tell them not to give it to you. You're gonna realize how long the days are, okay? And that might sound scary, but listen, you're gonna have so much free time to do things. You're gonna have time to see your friends, you're gonna have time to bake, to practice drawing, to start a new skill, to start up that business. And you're gonna go to bed that day thinking, I did so much today. You don't even realize how long 2 hours is because you normally spend those 2 hours scrolling. In the space of 2 hours, you could get a train to your nearest city and just become a tourist in it and explore and go shopping and sit in a new cafe. In the space of these 2 hours, you could bake a dessert, you could sit down and watch a new episode of a new show. In the space of 2 hours, you could go online, learn the 11 steps to creating a business, start your website, design it, and get the domain in under 2 hours. So doesn't the thought of scrolling just kind of gross you out right now? And finally, chapter number 4, the homework chapter. These are actionable steps you can start today to go on this journey of spending less time on your phone and social media and actually living a real fulfilling life. Homework task number 1, choose your morning happiness ritual. It could be matcha, it could be walk, it could be spending time with your family, whatever it is. Step number 2, choose a book you can't wait to read every single night. Even if you're not a big reader, I have a whole book on self-improvement books that changed my life. Go order one, invest in yourself. I have certain books that I read where I can't wait until I have a work task that's over and done with so I can go and read it, okay? You need to make this exciting. It needs to be an exciting swap from your phone where you don't even care about the fact that you're leaving it in another room. Homework task number 3, unfollow binge and mold the algorithm to your favor. Remove everyone, press not interested on all of the content that's not actually serving you or your purpose, and start searching up and using social medias as a search engine to get you further to your ideal life. Homework task number 4, do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. It could be anything. You can take yourself on a solo date, you can sign up to Shopify, start a side hustle, start learning a new skill, something that's gonna make the 24 hours feel like 24 hours and give you a purpose to not be on your phone. You gotta make it exciting, you gotta make it rewarding, and you gotta make it easy. Step number 5, plan out, schedule, and set intentions for your week. You wanna have every hour accounted for. Have some hours scheduled out where you spend time with your friends, you go on a date, you do something fun just for yourself, and have your hours for your work, your responsibilities, your extracurricular activities so you can grow as a person. When you look at the schedule, you're gonna be like, I have all of this stuff to do, okay? And all you're gonna be is motivated to get it done ASAP because you have all of these time restrictions. The next homework task is a difficult one. I want you to voluntarily do something difficult this week. Tomorrow morning, take a cold shower, or wake up an hour earlier than you normally do, or go to the gym first thing in the morning, no matter what the weather looks like outside, no matter how tired you are. And the last homework task is to get addicted to real dopamine, okay? The list of real dopamine sources you can Google. So we're talking sun, meditation, music, dancing, self-care. And I want you to do one thing this week. Take it a step further, choose one task and actually incorporate it into your daily routine. So every other day I will meditate. Every single day I move my body and I do exercise. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite tip was that you didn't think about before because I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching and I wish you the best of luck. I hope you guys can send me proof. I want to see what you're doing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm wishing you the best of luck on your journeys. I appreciate you and I will see you next week for a new video. Bye.